Hey guys, this is Prowl1701 and today we're just doing a little comparison video between a Graflex hilt, we're using the Ultrasabers Graflex for this video, and the Prodigy from Saberforge. Now, the Prodigy is very much a Graflex inspired hilt, and it's very obvious, especially around the top of the emitter right here, that there's definitely some Graflex influences here. We're going to, it's not really a versus video like I like to do, it's more of just a comparison video between the two. Now, both sabers, as you can see, have this slanted, slightly curved emitter. It's not a straight slant like on the Prophecy. It's a slightly curved slant, which you can see right here, that both sabers have, although the Graflex actually has the blade holder, whereas the Prodigy does not. They both also have the rabbit ears. They have the rabbit ears right here, the Graflex, and the Prodigy keeps this as well, right there. Now, the Ultrasabers Graflex is not a screen-accurate movie hilt. It does take a lot of liberties, especially around the activation box. But another liberty they take is the buttons. But the closest movie hilt to match this would be the Empire Strikes Back one, because the Empire Strikes Back one had a red button here and a red button here. Whereas in the A New Hope and the Force Awakens one have a red button here, then usually a little glass spot right here, where sometimes the light shines through and sometimes it doesn't, which we also get on the Prodigy. We get this right here, which does light up, and you can see the light coming through. This is a medium blue blade, the Saberforge medium blue, by the way, which looks absolutely fantastic. But that light shines up right there as well. And even though we don't get a button here, we get a button on the Graflex right up here, but even though there's not a button, they put this here as kind of an homage to it, kind of a little nod to it. They put this little design here. It's almost like a little faux button, even though it's not really there. And the design looks great. It really adds a little bit of personality to the saber. And then we also get right here these little round indentions right there. We get those on the Prodigy as well. And that's primarily the similarities, because once you get past that, there are a lot of differences. The Graflex is very large, very cumbersome with the activation box and the plastic grips. These are plastic, by the way, not rubber. They're a very hard plastic, and not very comfortable to duel with. This is a saber that's very much meant to be a shelf queen because it's a huge part of Star Wars history. It's not actually made to really be duel with. It's very uncomfortable to duel with. The Prodigy, on the other hand, while not being a screen-accurate Graflex, is much slimmer. You have this nice choke point right here. It's slimmer, but it still has a lot of detail to where it looks good, so you can actually mount it on the wall and it still looks nice. But it's actually very comfortable to duel with. We have the added lines here and here, the choke point here, the added designs here. We have this part right here that's very reminiscent of the saber Luke uses in Return of the Jedi. For example, we'll look at the Ultrasabers Archon, which is their version of the Return of the Jedi Luke hilt, and you see right here, how they're kind of similar. Not exactly, but it's very reminiscent of it. So you have a little bit of that in here. Then you also have this pommel here, which looks kind of like the base of Obi-Wan's Episode 1 saber, what Ultrasabers calls the Graflex. Not the Graflex, excuse me, the Guardian. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Guardian pommel. And I actually like that pommel. It's nice. It's basic, but it's nice, and I like it. So I'm not gonna lie. Between the two, I actually prefer my Prodigy. Not just because this is not exactly as movie accurate as I would like, but I think I just prefer a Prodigy over a Graflex, because this is great for show, and I think every Star Wars fan who collects lightsabers needs to own at least one version of the Graflex. I'd like to get a more movie accurate one myself at some point down the line. And this one was the number 2 on my top 10 saber list, but I actually think the Prodigy beats it out, because not only does it look great, but it also is extremely comfortable to use. It does scratch a little easy. You can see some of the scratch marks on it right here, and that little nick right there from when we were dueling with it, and some of our messing around with sabers videos, our summer edition ones we did. But I really like this one because it has comfort and it has looks. I'm a smaller guy, so I prefer a smaller saber, and especially when I combine it with the mid-grade Ultrasabers blade, because Saberforge doesn't make those. So just basically, even though this is a Graflex inspired hilt, it's just mostly in this area. Once you get past here, it kind of does its own thing. I like to think of it as a poor man's Graflex that's actually made to be dueled with. You can spin with it, you can duel with it, you can have a good time with it. Just watch out, it scratches very easy. If you would, go ahead and click the like button, click the subscribe button. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments section. And I also have another channel I just started called Another Sci-Fi Guy, where I review various sci-fi things. I'm going through Babylon 5 and Doctor Who right now, and have several other projects I want to get along to. And most importantly, thank you for watching.